As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body. Glad you liked it. If you need more speeches, scripts, or anything else for your YouTube channel, just let me know. Let's make Imran Khan the biggest motivation channel out there. My brothers and sisters, as we enter the sacred month of Ramadan, a time when the gates of mercy are wide open, when every deed is multiplied beyond measure, there is one Salah that stands above all others. A Salah so powerful that missing it is like missing out on the greatest blessings of this month. We all know that Ramadan is a time of fasting, a time of self-purification, a time when we strive to get closer to Allah. But beyond the fasting, beyond the Taraweeh, beyond the Suhoor Niftah, there is one prayer that defines our entire Ramadan experience. A prayer that sets the foundation for our success, not just in this month, but in life itself. What is this prayer? It is Salat al-Fajr, the dawn prayer, the first prayer of the day, the prayer that most people struggle with, the prayer that separates those who truly seek Allah's pleasure from those who are trapped in the comfort of their beds. The Prophet taught us that the Sunnah of Fajr alone is greater than the world and all it contains. Imagine that. Just 2 rakahs before the Fard of Fajr hold more value than every treasure, every piece of gold, every luxury that exists on this planet. And if this is the reward for the Sunnah, what about the Fard? What about standing before Allah in those sacred moments when the world is asleep? Fajr in Ramadan is different. During this month, we wake up for suhoor, we prepare our meals, we make sure we eat so we have energy for the day ahead. But how many of us give the same effort to Fahr? How many of us treat Fahr as an essential part of our morning, just like suhoor? Think about it. If we can wake up to feed our bodies, why can't we wake up to feed our souls? If we can make the effort to drink water, why not make the effort to quench the thirst of our hearts with the remembrance of Allah? If we can prepare meals for our physical strength, why do we neglect the meal that will nourish our iman? The Prophet said, whoever prays Fajr is under the protection of Allah, under His protection. What does this mean? It means that when you begin your day with Fajr, you are wrapped in divine security. You walk through your day with Allah watching over you. Your decisions, your struggles, your worries, everything is placed in His hands. But missing Fajr? That is like walking into a battlefield without armor. Like starting a journey without direction. Like turning away from the greatest gift Allah has given us. The ability to connect with Him at the most blessed time of the day. And in Ramadan, this gift is even greater. Because every act of worship is multiplied. Every sajda, every word of Quran, every moment spent in Salah holds a reward beyond our imagination. When you pray Fajr in Ramadan, you are sealing your fast with barakah. You are stepping into the day with light. You are proving to yourself and to your Creator that your faith is greater than your sleep, that your love for Allah is greater than your comfort. But Fajr is not just about waking up. It's about building discipline. It's about training your soul. When you master Fajr, you master self-control. You develop the ability to resist laziness, to break free from excuses, to prioritize what truly matters. And when Fajr becomes easy in Ramadan, it becomes easy outside of Ramadan. It becomes a part of who you are. So ask yourself today, how will you treat Fajr this Ramadan? Will it be just another prayer that comes and goes? Or will it be the foundation of your spiritual transformation? Will it be the Salah that sets your day on fire with iman, with determination, with success? Will it be the Salah that carries you through this month with strength, with purpose, with devotion? Because the truth is, my brothers and sisters, in a world full of distractions, where desires pull us in every direction, where the demands of life consume our time and energy, there remains one source of light, one beacon of hope, one path that leads us to ultimate success, the guidance of the Prophet. His words were not just words, they were wisdom, they were truth, they were the roadmap to eternal success. His actions were not just historical events, they were lessons for every generation, a guide for every struggle, a solution for every hardship. And in the blessed month of Ramadan, His guidance becomes even more crucial. Because Ramadan is not just about fasting. It is not just about hunger and thirst. It is about transformation. It is about purification. It is about returning to the essence of who we were created to be. And no one embodied this transformation better than the Prophet. He was the most disciplined in Ramadan. He was the most generous. He was the most devoted in his worship. And if we truly want to make this Ramadan meaningful, we must follow his way. What did he teach us about this month? He taught us that Ramadan is a month of mercy, a time when Allah's forgiveness is at its peak, when the doors of Jannah are wide open, when the chains of shaitan are locked away. But he also warned us. He warned us that despite all of these blessings, some people will leave Ramadan without any benefit. Some people will fast, but their fasting will be nothing more than hunger. Some people will stand in prayer, but their prayer will be nothing more than exhaustion. Why? Because they neglected the true essence of Ramadan. Because they didn't follow the guidance of the Prophet. Because they focused on the physical aspects of fasting while ignoring the spiritual. And what is the spiritual side of Ramadan? It is taqwa. It is self-discipline. It is leaving behind bad habits. It is guarding the tongue, controlling the eyes, purifying the heart. The Prophet told us, whoever does not leave false speech and evil actions, Allah has no need of his fasting. Think about that for a moment. Fasting is not just about leaving food and drink. It is about leaving sin. It is about cleansing our hearts. It is about becoming a better version of ourselves. And this is why the Prophet was so careful with his words, his actions, his time in Ramadan. He knew that this month was a gift, and he treated it as such. But his guidance didn't stop there. He showed us how to make the most of this month. He didn't just pray. He prayed with khushu', unwavering focus. He didn't just recite Quran. He absorbed its message. He lived its teachings. He applied every verse to his life. He didn't just give charity. He gave like the wind, constantly, abundantly, without hesitation. And perhaps the most beautiful thing he taught us was the power of seeking. Lailatul Qadr, the night of decree, the night that is better than 1,000 months. He didn't tell us the exact date, but he encouraged us to seek it in the last 10 nights. And he himself would push harder in these nights than any other time of the year. He would tighten his belt, spend his nights in worship, wake up his family, and immerse himself in seeking Allah's mercy. So what does this mean for us? It means that if we want to experience the true power of Ramadan, we must follow his example. We must wake up for Fajr even when it's difficult. We must hold our tongues even when we are tested. We must give in charity even when we feel we have little. We must pray with focus, recite the Quran with reflection, seek Laylatul Qadr with sincerity. Because the Prophet was not just a messenger, he was the best role model. His way is the way to success in this life and the next. His guidance is the key to making this Ramadan life-changing. And the question we must ask ourselves is, my brothers and sisters, in the depths of Ramadan, there lies a treasure chest of blessings, some that we can see and others that remain hidden, waiting to be unlocked by those who seek them. Every moment in this month is infused with divine mercy. Every second carries an opportunity for reward, and every action, no matter how small, can transform our destiny. But here's the reality. Not everyone recognizes these blessings. Some people will fast the entire month, but they will not taste the sweetness of Iman. Some will stand in long nights of prayer, but their hearts will remain untouched. Some will recite the Quran from cover to cover, but their souls will not be moved. Why? Because they have not yet discovered the hidden blessings of Ramadan. They are looking at this month only on the surface, but true rewards lie beneath, in the sincerity of our intentions, in the depth of our worship, in the unseen moments when no one is watching except Allah. What are these hidden blessings? They are the blessings that go beyond numbers, beyond the number of fasts we complete, beyond the number of rakas we recite. They are the blessings that change our hearts, that elevate our souls, that make us feel closer to Allah in ways we never have before. One of the greatest hidden blessings of Ramadan is the purification of the heart. When we fast, we are not just staying away from food and drink, we are cleansing ourselves from everything that weighs us down, the grudges we hold, the jealousy that burns within, the anger that consumes us. Fasting is meant to break these chains. It teaches us patience, it softens our hearts, it makes us reflect on what truly matters. The Prophet said, fasting is a shield. A shield from what? From sins, from desires that control us, from the whispers of shaitan that try to lead us astray. But here's the secret. The real purification doesn't happen on the first day of fasting. It happens gradually, quietly, in the moments we least expect. Maybe it happens when we feel hunger and instead of complaining, we remember those who have nothing. Maybe it happens when we are about to argue, but we hold our tongue because we know that fasting is more than just abstaining from food. Maybe it happens when we stand in prayer late at night, and for the first time in a long time, we feel a connection with Allah that brings tears to our eyes. And then there's the hidden reward of sincerity. In Ramadan, many acts of worship become second nature. We fast because everyone around us is fasting. We pray because it's expected. We give charity because we know the rewards are multiplied. But among all these actions, there are some moments that are purely between us and Allah. The moments when no one is watching. The moments when we make dua in sujood, with tears streaming down our face. The moments when we give in charity so secretly that even our left hand doesn't know what the right hand has given. These are the moments that carry the greatest rewards. The Prophet told us about a group of people who will be under the shade of Allah on the day of judgment. Among them is a person who gives charity so secretly that even his left hand does not know what his right hand has given. Why? Because that charity was purely for the sake of Allah. No praise, no recognition, no expectations, just a sincere act of worship that only Allah knows. And this is one of the greatest hidden rewards of Ramadan. The reward of doing something purely for Allah, expecting nothing in return from this world. But there's more. One of the most hidden yet powerful blessings of this month is the unseen barakah, blessings in our time. Have you ever noticed that in Ramadan, even though we are fasting, we somehow find the energy to pray more, to read more Quran, to stand in long Taraweeh prayers? Have you ever wondered how, despite eating less, we feel stronger in our faith? This is barakah. This is Allah placing divine blessings in our time, in our energy, in our efforts. Barakah is something that cannot be measured. It is not about how much you do, but about how much impact your actions have. A single heartfelt dua in Ramadan can change the course of your life. A single moment of sincere repentance can wipe away a lifetime of sins. A single night of worship, Laylatul Qadr, can be better than 1,000 months. And this is perhaps the greatest hidden blessing of all. Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree, the night when the Quran was revealed. A night so powerful that Allah dedicated an entire surah to it. A night when angels descend in waves, when the mercy of Allah floods the earth, when destinies are written. A night that if caught gives the reward of worshipping for more than 83 years. But here's the secret. No one knows exactly which night it is. It could be the 21st, the 23rd, the 25th, the 27th, the 29th, or maybe it changes every year. And this is where the test comes. The hidden blessing of Laylatul Qadr is not just in its reward, but in the search for it. The Prophet didn't just tell us to worship on one night, he told us to seek it in the last 10 nights, because in that search, in that effort, in those extra prayers, in those long sujoods, we find something even greater than the reward. We find closeness to Allah. So what does all of this mean for us? It means that Ramadan is not just about what we see, it is about what we don't see. It is about the quiet moments of reflection, the unseen sacrifices, the hidden du'as, the small acts of kindness that no one else notices, the nights spent in prayer that no one else knows about. Because in the end, the greatest blessings of Ramadan are not the ones we count. They are the ones that transform us, the ones that bring us closer to Allah, the ones that stay with us long after Ramadan is over. And the question we must ask ourselves is, My brothers and sisters, the time for hesitation is over. The time for delaying is gone. Ramadan is here, and the opportunity before us is unlike any other. The doors of Jannah are open. The mercy of Allah is descending upon us. The rewards for every good deed are multiplied beyond our imagination. This is not the month of laziness. This is not the month of procrastination. This is the month of action. But let me ask you something. How many Ramadans have passed in your life? How many times have you told yourself, this year I will change, only for the month to slip away, leaving you the same as before? How many times have you made intentions but failed to follow through? This Ramadan must be different. This Ramadan must be the one where you finally take action. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. The Prophet said, the most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are consistent even if they are small. That means your actions don't have to be massive. You don't have to finish the entire Quran in 1 week. You don't have to stand the whole night in prayer. But you must start. You must make a commitment. You must take the first step. What does action look like in Ramadan? It looks like waking up for Fajr, no matter how tired you are. It looks like holding your tongue when someone angers you. It looks like giving in charity even if you only have a little. It looks like opening the Quran every day even if it's just for a few verses. It looks like standing in Tarawih even when your legs ache. It looks like making sincere dua, pouring your heart out to Allah, begging for His mercy. Because every small action adds up. Every prayer you pray, every verse you recite, every fast you complete, it all builds, it all strengthens your connection with Allah. And when you push yourself in Ramadan, when you give it your all, you will see the results long after the month is over. But here's the truth. Ramadan will not wait for you. The days are slipping away, whether you take action or not. Every sunset brings you closer to the end of this blessed month. Every missed opportunity is a loss that cannot be recovered. Every unprayed salah, every ignored Quran page, every neglected night of worship is a regret waiting to happen. So what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the perfect moment? That moment will never come. Are you waiting for motivation? Motivation fades, but discipline lasts. Are you waiting for a sign? This is your sign. This message, this reminder, this moment. This is your chance to change. If you've been struggling with your prayers, start praying now. If you've neglected the Quran, open it today. If you've been distant from Allah, turn to Him this moment. Because you don't know if you will live to see another Ramadan. How many people were with us last year, but are no longer here today? How many people wished they had one more chance to fast, one more chance to pray, one more chance to seek forgiveness? And yet, we are here, alive, breathing, given another opportunity. Will we waste it, or will we act? This is the month of transformation. This is the month where sins are erased, where habits are broken, where the heart is purified. This is the month where Allah calls you back to Him. Will you answer, or will you let another Ramadan pass without change? My brothers and sisters, the choice is yours. But remember this, you will never regret the effort you put into Ramadan. You will never regret waking up for tahajjud. You will never regret giving charity. You will never regret making extra dhikra. But you will regret the moments you wasted, the nights you slept through, the days you let pass without prayer. So make a decision today, right now. This is your time, this is your chance, this is your call to action. And the question you must ask yourself is,